Now you've heard from a leader of this association that's a Democrat, but this is a bipartisan effort. And I want you to hear from another county commissioner. His name is Glenn Wheatley. He's the commissioner of Tarrant County, Texas. It's a little warm here today, but I guess it's cool to you, right?
It's not warm at all. No, we're just about to get into the hot season. I am Glenn Whitley, and I am actually Tarrant County judge, which confuses everybody. But in Texas, it goes back to the Judge Roy Bean days, believe it or not. And I too want to say how glad I am to be here today, and I want to express my appreciation to Congressman Fattah and Congressman Turner for helping with this piece of legislation. As was mentioned earlier, this really is a piece of legislation that does many things. One, it does help counties, approximately 450 of the urban counties across this country, to have an opportunity to take that grant money, and at a time when we need jobs, to be able to make changes and to be able to use those funds in many different ways. One example that I will give you is in my own county. We are going to get approximately $2.5 million, and with that, we're going to be changing out some old, inefficient chillers, and we're going to be replacing them with much more energy efficient coolers, and that will help not only the employment of changing out those chillers, also from a standpoint of reducing greenhouse gas, some 730,000 tons of particle each year, but it will also at the same time, through reduced energy costs, save our taxpayers a lot of money. Across this country, counties are finding many different ways to do that. Some are using and starting energy efficiency education type classes. Others are using the summer jobs program, which we've heard so much about, to hire youth to go around and to help, one, train and to teach people on how to be more energy efficient. But sometimes it's just going around and turning off lights and doing those types of things. So we believe that this program will greatly help in a lot of different ways. Energy efficiency, jobs, and everything, which will really help hopefully get our economy back on track and get it going again. Again, I want to thank everyone today for being a part of this, and Burl, I appreciate everything that you've done as chair this year, and Eileen, you also as chair of these large Urban County Caucus.
Thank you, Judge, and I want to thank again the officers of the large Urban County Caucus, and to you, Chairman, and to your Vice Chair, Eileen. It's good to see you again. I want to recognize and thank the person in my office that really leads this effort on the energy block grant. A young attorney, Brendan Cheney. He gets none of the credit, but he does all the work. I think that's a fair exchange. And but I want to thank everyone. This is the president has just landed in Saudi Arabia on his way to Egypt, and we know that in part that stop in Saudi Arabia is because of our dependence on Mideast oil, and it's important to our economy. Well, energy efficiency and this effort at conservation and improving our conservation efforts throughout our country is about creating a more independent United States of America. And we do that through local governments having the resources that they need today to make us energy dependent tomorrow. And we could avoid having the necessity to sometimes maybe have to interact around energy issues when there's so many other issues we could be talking to the Saudis about. So I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank the members of the caucus for their continued support. I want to be going now to the Energy Appropriations Committee room where we have the Secretary of Energy testifying. Last year we fought for this program. We ended up with $295 million in the appropriations bill. But when the stimulus came along, we were able to move that number very aggressively. It couldn't have been done without the people behind me. These local officials lobbying their members of Congress, and $3.2 billion was funded. But we want to keep the pressure on, and we don't want to lose sight of the annual appropriations process, and we want to make the case that this, among all of our other priorities, deserves its fair share of resources. So thank you very much.
Good to see you again. I need to make triple Philly sometimes. Listen.
Yeah, man, you need to do that.
Yeah.
We'll set something up.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
What we're hoping to do is bring some stimulus dollars back to California. We feel pretty motivated by this. We have 37 million people who are looking for a way to maintain their state staying afloat. So our hope today is that we will come back with some of that stimulus money, that ARRA money, and have that in our pocket, delivering it back to California.
First of all, we want to emphasize and build on the partnership that we have with the Congressional Urban Caucus. This marks a year since we began working together on issues of concern to metropolitan communities. Second, we want to encourage Congress to continue to move forward and making the appropriation for the energy efficiency block grants that they've already approved. And so we believe this is a step in that direction.